What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the GolfMagic channel. First of all, if you guys are new around here, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below to keep up to date with all our ball reviews, ball comparisons, equipment news, equipment comparisons, and much, much more. If you are new to the channel, I'm Alex, the video and equipment editor here at GolfMagic, and today I'm bringing you our finale of our Vice Golf series. Now, this is the fourth and final episode. The first three, we compared the Vice Pro Plus against the Titleist Pro V1, the Callaway Chrome Soft, and the TaylorMade TP5 and TP5X. I feel like we've done a pretty decent comparison with golf balls, but one thing I've noticed with Vice that I've seen a lot of people say is that their durability on the course, especially with colour balls like this, wears quite quickly. So what we're going to do today is an extreme durability test at Grays Golf and at Knoll Park Golf Club. What I was thinking of doing to begin with is just putting it in through a round of golf and just seeing how it performs, but there's a few variances there. One is if I lose the actual golf ball and put it out of bounds or somewhere, or is if the turf interaction isn't as solid as I want it to be. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm here at Grays Golf and I'm going to put this just individual ball, the Vice Pro Plus in red, through its paces for durability. I'm going to act like I'm playing 2 rounds of golf, so I'm going to hit about 60 shots from drivers to irons to wedges at a launch monitor and see how much I can wear this ball out from 60 balls. Then I want some other turf interaction, so I'm going to take it to Knoll Park Golf Club and then I'm going to put it on the short game area. So the bunker, chipping, get some different turf interaction and just see how much I can wear this ball out. It'll be interesting because the red finish, you think it could wear quite quickly. So 60 shots here and then probably about another 50 to 60 shots on the short game area. It'll be interesting how it compares. I do have another golf ball, the Titleist Pro V1, that I have taken through a round of golf, and we'll see the difference at the end of the video as to how it compares. Let's get right into the video. So just for context, I'm going to be using the Cobra RadSpeed 6 iron, and I'm also going to be using the Cobra RadSpeed driver for the testing. When I go into the wedges, I'm also using a Cobra wedge. How it's going to go is I'm going to hit 26 irons, 20 drivers, and then 20 of an assorted type of clubs. So from wedges to anything I feel like could be applicable. Let's get right into hitting. I'm knackered already, so this is going to be difficult. As you can see, I've got the Vice Pro Plus in red with the GolfMagic logo on it. I'm not going to be changing golf balls, I'm using just this little one here. So, this will be interesting. Let's give it a go. First up, 26 irons. Absolutely bladed that one, but I thought that's quite a good thing because golf balls probably get more damage when you absolutely knuckleball it off the bottom of the club. So it's good to get a few bad strikes in there. At least that's the excuse I'm giving as to why I just hit that shot. So ball number 10. Let's see what it's like after this. Looking at the ball, I can see nothing yet. I can think there's some slight discoloration. Just on the top there, I don't know if you can see that, if it focuses, just there. But there's no splints or cracks or anything like that. But let's see the next 10 balls and then we'll go on to, the next 15 balls, sorry, and then we'll go on to the drivers. Let's get back into it. Alright, let's bring you over here. Looking at the golf ball, there are some wear marks on the bottom. You can see just by the Vice logo, there's some little dots, but nothing that I would constitute as cracks, splits, or anything like that. You can only tell on close inspection. The GolfMagic logo is added to it. I can see that the logo is starting to wear slightly as well. From 25 shots of a 6 iron, going at 140 mph ball speed, that's not bad. What I'm really interested to see is how it will cope with 20 drivers. I'm more interested to see how I'm going to cope with 20 drivers because I'm probably going to collapse halfway, but let's give it a go. I'm going to hit it as hard as I can basically for 20 shots and I'll see how the ball responds. Let's get right into it.
Tell me that you want to stay, baby, just don't walk away. I need you now, fade it out. All the time we spent alone, fighting through the Firestone, don't let me down. I need you now, 'cause I'm feeling worn out. It's getting to me.
Halfway down, nothing of note. The only thing that I can see, I won't distract anything you can see, but the actual logos themselves are now getting slightly more worn. Now it's the Vice logo on that side. I can just see it's getting a little bit more worn, but nothing in terms of splits or cracks. I think they will start appearing maybe at the end of this session, but so far it's holding together pretty good. I'm getting about 175 ball speed, and it's holding together well. So 35 shots down, impressive. Let's keep going. Finally better. Alright, 20 golf balls down for the driver, 45 golf balls down overall. And let's take a look at the golf ball. So now we've got our first sign of marking on just the normal side of the ball. You can now see that there is one tiny scratch on the golf ball, and the other markings towards especially the GolfMagic logo, there's starting to be some marks. But other than that, in terms of discoloration for the actual colour, I think it's doing pretty well. There are some marks on just the ball and scrapes, but so I've hit now 45 shots. I would constitute that as a full round, more or less, with full swings, because you've got putting and chipping to do. And the way this is hold up, it's pretty decent. I mean, if you think about, so I'm still out of breath. If you think about golf balls and what tour professionals do, they don't use the same golf ball around. They use about 3 golf balls around. So I've hit 45 balls with this now, and I think it's actually held up pretty well. There is some, you have to basically clean it because it looks like there's just some fur that's come onto it, and there is some scratches. I'm going to be blunt, but like for 45 balls on a launch monitor where I'm hitting it consistently 170 to 175 miles an hour with a driver, not bad. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and absolutely destroy the golf ball with some fresh grooves that I've got from the Cobra Red Speed pitching wedge. I'm going to hit 15 balls with that, try and really get an angle of attack going down it, and just see how I get on. Let's go. Left. Alright, let's move you over here so I can chat to you. Alright, so 60 golf balls hit with this one Vice Pro Plus golf ball in red. Heard a lot of reviews about how it could wear too quickly, so let's talk through it. 60 golf balls being hit by one ball, all 4 swings. That would be probably, well, for high handicap golfers, that may be 1 round, but either with that, like, you got to think, like, that's 2 shots, a tee shot and then a fairway shot. I think that's at least 2 rounds. Let's say that's 2 rounds to begin with. So for 2 rounds of golf, for a golf ball to survive through that, some do, some don't. I would never recommend hitting a golf ball for 2 rounds to begin with. I always only hit it for, let's say, about 1 round and then go on to another one, unless I'm playing like a practice round or something like that. It doesn't really matter. What I feel like with this ball, it will never actually lose its quality in terms of the performance, but the actual design, the aesthetics may actually wear a little bit. So, as you can see for the beginning 6 iron shots, nothing really happened. And the driver, there was a few bits and bobs, but nothing of note. It was doing really well. What absolutely destroyed this golf ball and actually started wearing off the red colouring of the ball was the pitching wedge, this Red Speed 1 length pitching wedge. This, the absolutely brand new grooves, it did tear it apart a little bit. So I'll show you now. You can see that there is some discoloration from where I struck it out the middle. You can see the actual literal groove impact on the golf ball, and on the Red Speed pitching wedge as well, you can see there's little bits of red on it from where it's worn off. So this ball isn't perfect, but what I noticed every single time I hit this golf ball, from the first ball to the 60th ball, there was no cracks, no splits, no nothing. I was getting consistent performance. My pitching wedge there, I nearly hold a few actually from the launch monitor here at Gray's Golf, and it stayed the same. So although I could see some wear marks on the golf ball, the most notable are the white marks from the pitching wedge. The GolfMagic logo has started to wear a little bit, but with the white marks, the only thing that I would say about this is negative is that if you're looking down at the golf ball address, if it gets too severe, it would look a little bit strange. But right now, there's not enough for me to say that this is a golf ball that's a dud. 60 golf balls, 2 rounds, I think that's pretty decent, but what we're going to have to do now is take it to Knoll Park Golf Club, and then I'm going to go on the short game area, I'm going to test still just this golf ball out in the bunker, just some chip shots, and then I'm going to play 3 holes with it and see how it gets on. I would expect any sort of golf ball after 60 shots at a launch monitor, some short game practice that'll be about 50 shots as well, and then another three holes, probably another 50 shots as well. That's going to be a lot of damage to a golf ball. So, although it might wear a little bit for the design, I'm just going to be interested to see if the quality stays the same for the performance. So, let's go over to Knoll Park Golf Club and see how we get on.
Alright guys, so you join me now at Knoll Park Golf Club in the short game area, where I'm going to have a little bit of fun with the Vice Pro Plus golf ball that I used at Grace Golf, the exact one, and see just how much wear I can actually get to it. So far we've noticed that there is some cosmetic wear to it, but in terms of what would affect your game, there's no splits, no cracks, any marks I would think are actually bad. It's just some cosmetic marks so far. If you haven't realised, today at Knoll Park Golf Club is not a very nice day. This is actually a few days after filming at Grace Golf, and it has been an absolute blowout here in the UK. The weather is absolutely shocking. I tried filming a few days ago, I broke my camera. To be honest, this bunker is soaking wet, and I don't know if I'm going to enjoy myself today, but the one thing that is going to be good here is that this is going to provide optimal conditions to kind of wear out a golf ball. The moisture on the green, the bunker's being soaking wet as well. These grooves are going to really get under it, and I should be able to get a decent amount of wear on the golf ball. So let's see how tough the Vice Pro Plus really is. I'm going to hit about 20 bunker shots and then just mess about in the short game area a bit and just see how we get on. Let's get into it. Alright, so I've hit about 15 shots with this golf ball so far. I'm knackered because I've continuously had to go back and forwards about 20 yards. This bunker, as you can see, is pretty, it's more or less ground under repair right now. I think it really is wet. It's puddles everywhere, so a pretty decent opportunity to absolutely mash this golf ball. And in terms of how it's got on so far from just the bunker shots, in comparison to what it was before, it's noticed that the marks or blemishes that happened from the wedge shots seem to have got a little bit bigger and perhaps a little bit more noticeable because it's outside. But in terms of new marks, I can't see any new marks that have come out just from bunker shots, which I think is pretty impressive, because when you look at other YouTubers, when they put balls into the testing, it seems that it's always the bunker shots that really wear out a golf ball. It seems that this golf ball so far for short game does pretty well, but it's those shots with those wedges with those brand new grooves that really did it a number. So what I'll do now is I'll just hit a few short game shots just around this short game area. It is very sodden, it's very wet, so I'm not going to hit too many because I don't want to destroy the green and the grass, but I'll hit about 10 to 15 shots, and then we're going to go into a 3-hole challenge with this ball and see how it gets on. Let's do it. Alright guys, so that is about 15 shots that you can see there of the short game area, just a few chips. I'm going to be honest, it is raining so much here, it's going sideways and I'm getting absolutely battered. I can't feel my hands, but again, it's a good test to see how the Vice golf ball's doing. From just little chips there, yeah, nothing at all, there's no increases. I'm not surprised. I feel like this ball's the only problem that this ball may have is from full impact shots that I've had at Grace Golf for short game areas. This is going to be absolutely fine, so interesting. so far I've probably hit about 100, maybe even 120 shots with this one ball, with about 80 to 70 of those being full swings, and that's got to constitute about 3 to 4 rounds of golf depending on how good you are, and this ball's still holding up. There's not actually any cracks or anything there, just some wear marks to the cosmetic area. It is noticeable, I'll give you that, but if you're going to use a ball for 4 rounds of golf and you're expecting it to be completely brand new, like, choose a different sport, because any sort of other golf ball, I'll show you a Pro V1 that I've used for 2 rounds of golf and it's absolutely knackered. This golf ball with a much more prominent colour scheme, you'd think that it actually would have more wear. It's still very usable. Yes, you can see the little marks when looking down at a dress, but it's nothing that puts you off. So I'm still pretty impressed with this because there's no cracks or anything like that, especially for the full swings. Now, I don't want to do this, but let's now play 3 holes at Knoll Park Golf Club in the pouring rain and see how this ball gets on just playing for 3 holes on top of all the other stuff I've done with it. Let's get a bit more unhappy. That's what happens when you're soaking wet. So I obviously just laid up on this par 3 to hit more shots rather than just going straight to the green, because this is all about testing the Vice golf ball, and yeah, I don't know what else to say. It's so difficult playing in the wind and rain when it's 5 degrees, wind's going sideways, and you've got one glove that's already soaked from you not cleaning it. So maybe this is not just a Vice golf test, maybe this is an Alex Lodge test for how he does in bad weather conditions, because so far I'm struggling, guys, but 2.5 holes more to go. Let's see if I can get up and down for par here on one of the hardest holes on the course. Little shot, little shot. Alright, so next hole, the second par 4, about 360 yards, up a hill on the left. Tree on the left you don't want to go, so you got to go a little bit right with the 4-iron or something and then hit a wedge into the green. I'm probably going to duck cut it into the shrubbery on the left, lose the ball and then ruin the video, but let's see how it goes. So final hole, I made a par on the last. To be honest, pars feel like birdies right now, so I'm pretty happy with that. This hole is a par 4, down up, blind tee shot kind of. It goes with along with the 4th hole. Probably should hit 3-wood, but I don't want to get any of the bad stuff in play. You've got some shrubbery and whatnot, and I just want to get it down there and then hit a mid to long iron into the green. So let's see if I can make another par. Here we are, position A, as you can see, with the absolutely massive mark that it made on impact with the fairway. You can see how wet it is there, but as you can see, I am I'd say about 120 yards away. Pretty easy shot. Let's see if I can hit a pretty decent shot. Maybe give myself a chance at a birdie. Who'd have thought? Hello. Okay, might have a birdie chance here. Alright, 1 over 3, pretty decent test. Let's jump back to my studio now. We can talk a little bit about this golf ball because I don't want to stay outside for much longer. Let's get back to it.
So guys, as you can see, I am now back home rather than Knoll Park Golf Club. I'm a little bit drier now, and I'll give my final thoughts on the Vice Pro Plus golf ball throughout this 4-piece series. During this testing, we have compared this golf ball, the Vice Pro Plus, to the TaylorMade TP5, the Titleist Pro V1, and the Callaway Chrome Soft. It's been a range of testing, and I still think this golf ball has come up trumps against every single asset that we've put it against. This video focused on the durability of the Vice Pro Plus, whereby I took it to Grays Golf and hit about 60 shots with it, and then went to Knoll Park Golf Club and tormented myself on the short game area with the bunker, and then played a few holes. How did I think this ball turned out? To be honest, I'm sure there's going to be a few comments thinking that this ball actually didn't turn out very well. But what I wanted to focus on in this video was the performance that this ball gave, despite there being a little bit of wear to the actual cosmetic side of the golf ball. I kind of consider golf balls that are coloured differently to the normal white as wedges that are having a matte black finish. A matte black wedge, over time, you'd expect to wear a little bit quicker than any other standard wedge, and that's kind of the design that you get with it. Matte black wedges, they look a lot nicer, but with that you have that added thing to think about, that they will kind of wear a little bit quicker. With golf balls like this, I kind of think the same thing, especially with the logo as well. Because they're not the standard white, it's likely that the design of it will wear, but the most important thing about a golf ball's durability is that there's no cracks or scuffs appearing. As you can see, from the final testing that I did with this golf ball after the 3 holes, there's still no wear or cracks to the golf ball apart from the cosmetic injuries that I had at Grays Golf. Is it notable? Yes, but this golf ball's been through about 3 to 4 rounds of golf, I'd say. It's been over 120 shots, and that's not including any putts. Now, if I were to compare it to a Titleist Pro V1x golf ball that I've used for 2.5 rounds, it's pretty much exactly the same. Obviously, you can't see the notable design wear that the Vice Pro Plus has, but that's because the Vice Pro Plus is in red, so it's likely to see more notable marks compared to a white golf ball. With this golf ball, apart from the smiley face that you have on it, there's not that many marks on the actual design itself, but there are scuffs, and the alignment line as well is notably marked. The main thing there is the scuffs, which can actually affect the performance of the golf ball. This isn't the newest model of the Titleist Pro V1x, so maybe they've improved that, but comparing the Titleist Pro V1x to the Vice Pro Plus here, although on first glance you may say that the Vice Pro Plus could have won more, which, yeah, it is true, there are more notable marks on it, none of these are any scuffs or anything, it's just some little bit of wear to the actual design itself, so it's tough to say really. I don't think that either has come out that positive from this, but again, what I said at the short game area, I don't think any of us are really expecting to use a golf ball for 4 rounds and it to be impeccable. If you are, then I think you do not have the correct knowledge on golf ball durability. Professional golfers, when I've been to the Open Championship, they'd only use a golf ball for 6 or 7 holes before changing it. So for 120 shots, this ball here, it's done pretty well. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video and the series that we've done on Vice Golf. It's a lot of fun testing golf balls, comparing them to other brands and seeing which one comes out trumps. From this series, let me know down in the comments what you think about the Vice Pro Plus and if you guys are considering of investing in these in the future. They've got some really nice features, from the customization to the different designs, and comparing it to other top brands, I think it's definitely one to watch for 2021 to see what other stuff they release. If you guys are new around here, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below to keep up to date with all our equipment news, tour news, and much more going into the new year. We've got a lot of really exciting videos coming, especially in January, so keep your eyes peeled. I'll see you guys at the next video.